हॅलो हॅलो.
हॅलो सर.
हा, जॉईन झाले का
हॅलो सर.
स्टुडंट? हा, जॉईन झाले का?
हो सर. चालू
बर.
करायचं का सर?
हो, येस येस, चालू करू आपण.
आय आय वेलकम बॅक टू ऑल पार्टिसिपंट फॉर day 4 session 2. Now I request Dr. Anish Kulkarni sir to continue the lecture.
Hello participants. Hello, am I audible participants? Hello.
Yes sir, yes sir, you are audible sir.
What's your good name please?
सर मी आदित्य आहे.
हा, बाकीचे अजून आले नाहीत का?
आले सर, आले. 14
हा, मग
participant have already.
हा, ते एखाद्या पार्टिसिपंटला बोललं म्हणजे बरं राहील. सुरुवात करते.
नितीन.
हॅलो नितीन.
Hi, sir.
Nitin, good
Yes,
afternoon.
sir. Good
Am I?
afternoon, sir.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir.
Can
You
you
are
hear?
audible.
Now slides are also all right.
Yeah. Screen is also visible.
Screen is visible. Okay. So now should we start?
Yes sir, yes
Yes,
sir.
sir. Sure.
Huh. So in the last slide, determination of what is the name of the slide, Nitin? Velocity,
Velocity
title,
potential derivation.
velocity potential derivation.
Derivation. Yes, sir.
Correct. So again, to summarize whatever we have covered in the first hour, that we have covered 5 topics. Fifth topic is on. That is, first we talked about linear wave theory, in which we have seen the flow structure comprising the 2 parts. Upper part is ocean surface, lower part is main body of the ocean, and how the boundary value problem is formulated in terms of Laplace equation. Then we have seen the concept of velocity, potential and stream function applying to the velocity wave motion, and we have seen the 4 types of boundary conditions. Now the critical part of this study is derivation of velocity potential. Nitin, hello. Nitin,
Yes, sir.
hello Nitin. Nitin, you are from which place?
I'm from Latur, sir. I'm a student of SGGS in past.
Very good, very good. Now, anyone others who are faculty member from state engineering colleges, can you interact? Friends, hello. Yes.
Yes, sir. Dawde, sir.
Dawde. How are you, Dawde? Fine.
Fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Okay. I have said fine, so you must be fine. Now we are talking about, it's a highly mathematical fluid mechanics course in which we are studying the wave mechanics. So for wave mechanics, as I have summarized, I will take you to this sketch very quickly, then you will understand. Could you see this diagram of a wave?
Yes, sir.
Dawde?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
What are the 2 parts of this particular wave? We will go very slowly and very systematically. What are the 2 parts? One is a crest. One is a crest. Just I am showing by a pen. Okay. So this part is a crest, the topmost part. Is my pen is visible on the sketch, Dawde?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. White pointers.
So this is crest. So what is the value of theta at the crest, Dawde? Crest, upper
Pi by
point.
2. Pi by 2.
Pi by 2, 90 degree, okay? Pi by 2. Then after crest, this wave intersects with this is still water level. This is still water level. So what is the value of theta at this intersection, Dawde sir?
Where, sir?
At intersection of this wave surface
Pi.
with the water level.
Pi. Pi 180.
Theta is equal to pi, correct? And at trough, what is the value of theta?
Pi by 2. Sorry, pi by 2.
Yeah, 3 by 2 into
3
pi,
by 2.
okay? 270 degree. And when it completes one cycle from this end to this end, the value of theta is 2 pi. Is it clear? It is one
Yes.
cycle of a wave, okay?
Yes.
Now, to complete this one cycle of a wave, it requires wave period T. You note down. A capital T, wave period is capital T. In the further equations, we are going to talk about that thing, so that actually a wave starting from 0 to 2 pi, it completes one cycle in T time period. So that 2 pi upon capital T, 2 pi upon capital T is called as propagation constant K. Nitin, hello.
Yes, sir.
What is the propagation constant you have taken? Just write down your notebook. This is very important part, fluid mechanics. What is K, small k, for this wave? Can you answer, please? Nitin?
At what point, sir?
No, K, wave propagation constant, anywhere, K, small k is equal to, what is the formula for small k? 2 pi divided by capital T. Write down 2 pi upon capital T. K is given as 2 pi upon capital T, and sigma is given as 2 pi upon L. Have you taken these two definitions, Nitin?
Yes, sir.
What are these two definitions? Can you read for the benefits of all? Small k.
Small k is equal to 2 pi upon t
2 pi.
minus t.
No, just 2 pi upon t. 2 pi upon t, not minus. 2 pi upon t, correct. And what is sigma?
Sigma
What
is
is
2 pi,
sigma?
2 pi t minus t.
No, 2 pi upon L. 2 pi upon wavelength, capital L.
Okay.
Dowry, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I will make the sound little bit high, so that now
Yes, sir. You are audible.
audible, na? Okay. Now from this current slide, this slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
So have you taken the definitions of K and sigma now?
Yes, sir. K is 2
So
pi by
K,
capital T.
2 pi upon capital T and 2 pi upon capital L, where capital T is wave period. Capital T is wave period and capital L is wavelength. What is wavelength in this case? Wavelength is this from 0 to 2 pi. Total length of this x-axis is wavelength. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
This is total wavelength. First of all, we will give some time on this understanding. Total wavelength is this much, 0 to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi. So, what is the value of sigma? Is it greater than 1 or less than 1? Any participant? Hello? Is it greater than 1 or less than 1? Nitin? Hello?
Sir.
Hello? What is the value of sigma? Write down. Sigma is less than 1. Sigma is less than 1. It is a fraction. K is also less than 1. It is also a fraction. So next point, write down phase angle theta is equal to kx minus sigma t. Theta is equal to kx minus sigma t. So for given x coordinate, at time t, at given time small t, we can determine value of phase angle theta. Is it clear? Hello? Hello? Now, we will go to that slide and we will explain the velocity potential derivation. Assumptions we have seen already. And after that, the coupled continuity and Bernoulli's equation is also given in 43-44. To solve this coupled equation, we have applied two boundary conditions. First boundary condition is at Z is equal to wave surface. The value of eta is given as 1 upon G into del psi upon, or I will read it, d phi upon dt. That is the value of eta, and we solve the equation, Laplace equation by method of separable. I will not go into detail of this mathematical technique much, but you should understand the steps followed. Independent variables are x, z and t. Then we find out the constants C, D and A, B. The constants are determined by applying the two boundary conditions. First boundary condition, the gradient of velocity potential in z direction is 0 at z equal to minus d. Nitin, can you tell me the meaning of this 62 equation? Hello? Nitin?
Yes, sir.
62 equation, could you see? Equation number 62. 62. What is that equation? Hello?
Dou phi by dou phi is equal to 0 at z is equal to minus 90.
What is the physical meaning of this equation? Can you briefly tell me?
The velocity potential along the z.
What is minus d here? Minus d means what? When you go to this particular sketch, just I will show you the minus d by going to this particular sketch. So minus d means the depth, the z coordinate below the static water level, z minus 1 meter, z minus 2 meter, so on. Could you see this sketch? This is a wave. Below this wave, the depth of ocean water below the datum surface. What is the datum, Nitin? Z equal to 0. That is static water level, horizontal water level. Correct? Horizontal water level below which we are measuring the depth of ocean water. Correct? And that is minus d. Correct? Is it okay? Huh?
With minus indicates the pressure decreases.
Minus indicate the pressure decreases. Very good. So that from this particular equation, we substitute the value of z equal to minus d. This study material will be made available to you. You can see in detail also. We determine the constants A, B, C, D, and finally, what is more important is this 78 equation. Could you see the 78 equation? Equation number 78. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes.
What is this equation? Let us focus on this equation. That was a stop point of our previous part of lecture. What is the left hand side phi? Nitin?
E upon sigma.
No. What is the meaning of phi? What is phi? Phi here. velocity potential. Write down velocity potential. What is the unit of velocity potential? Nitin, meter square per second. Unit of velocity is meters. Write down it. Phi is in meter square per second. So we will check the dimensional homogeneity of the equation. Is equal to A. What is small a, Nitin? Just focus on this equation. What is small a? What is small a? Yes, please. Any participant? Small a is amplitude. Small a is amplitude of wave. Amplitude of a wave. It is given in meters. Write down the dimension in meters. Into g. G is gravitational acceleration. Unit is meter per second square. What is sigma? Can anybody tell me? Yes, participant. Any participant? Hello? Hello? Hello, friends. What is sigma? Yes. Sigma is nothing but propagation constant. Wave propagation constant. Just now we have discussed for that wave. Propagation constant. And its value is, what is its value? 2 pi upon, yes, anybody can help me? Hello? Anybody can help me? What is the value of sigma? Nitin? Hello? Nitin?
Yes, sir.
What is
Yes,
the
sir.
value of, what is the value, sigma? What is sigma? First of all, understand in detail. What is sigma here?
2 pi by L.
Very good. Sigma is nothing but 2 pi by L. Okay. So what is the unit of sigma? It is meter, 1 upon meter. Correct? Write down m raised to power minus 1. Then this is the ratio of k into d plus z. K is, what is k here? Yes. Hyperbolic, cos h is hyperbolic, k into d plus z. Just I will emphasize on this equation, later on I will go very quickly. K into d plus z divided by cos h kd. So this ratio does not have any unit. So what is the unit of this cosine of this thing? It is also a fraction. So finally, what is the value, unit of phi? Yes, Nitin, that is meter into meter s raised to power minus 2. That is meter square per second. Meter square per second. Okay. Is it clear? Then after that thing, we use this equation, that is this fraction kx minus sigma t is a phase angle, and this phase angle is a constant. So we can write kx equal to sigma t plus ks equal to sigma t plus a constant. Therefore, if you take k into dx by dt, differentiation with respect to t, then we will come to know that k into dx by dt equal to sigma, and dx by dt equal to sigma upon k. We substitute sigma as sigma as sigma as 2 pi t and k as 2 pi by L. So this L upon T gives you celerity of the wave. Hello, Nitin? Hello, Nitin?
Yes, sir.
What is celerity of wave? Write down the definition of celerity. Celerity C is the speed of wave. C is the speed of wave which is given by equation C is equal to sigma by K. In your quiz, in the final test, such question will appear. What is the value of celerity of wave? C is equal to sigma upon K. That is rate of change of displacement of wave dx with respect to time period. Dx by dt is nothing but celerity. Now, if the wave travels in the positive x direction, this is positive value of celerity. If the wave travels in the negative x direction, this is negative value of celerity, minus c. Dx by dt we get minus c. So in this way, this velocity potential helps us to find out the value of celerity. So in this particular topic, I will summarize quickly in the velocity potential what we have done. We have considered 6 assumptions for applying the Laplace equation, and we have taken a coupled governing equation. Third step, we have applied the 2 boundary conditions, and finally the Laplace equation is solved for velocity potential phi. Fourth step, we have obtained the value of phi as this thing, 78 equation. And fifth step is that we have derived the equation for celerity. These are the 5 steps which are important for a fifth topic, that is derivation of velocity potential. Now we shall start dispersion relationship. Dispersion relationship. What is dispersion relationship? It is useful to get relationship between the parameters, that is wavelength, wave period and water depth. We are interested to find out the relationship between 3 parameters, that is L, capital T and water depth. Here we consider a water wave of small amplitude A. So for small amplitude wave, we can write the vertical component of velocity W as a tangent of dn upon dt. dn upon dt. W is equal to dn upon dt. So this is applicable only for small amplitude wave. And after that thing, this material derivative of what is eta, Nitin? Hello. What is eta here in dispersion relationship? Hello. What is eta? Can anybody tell me? Hello, participants. Hello. Hello. Can you hear me? Aditya. Aditya? Aditya sir. Hello?
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Audible. Very good. So we are talking about eta in equation 87 for the dispersion relationship. Eta is nothing but the wave surface elevation or height of wave. Height of wave at given x and t. Write down the elevation of wave at given x and t is eta. So material derivative of eta can be written as local derivative plus convective derivative. And finally, for a horizontal surface, we can take d eta by dx equal to 0, and that for small wavelength we can take dn upon dx equal to 0, and if we substitute it, this term becomes 0 and w is equal to dou n upon dou t, and we know already the vertical component of velocity in terms of velocity potential, that is differentiation of velocity potential with respect to z gives us the value of w. So we can write for w, and finally we use this boundary condition, that is dou n by dou t is 1 upon g dou 2 psi upon dou t square at z equal to 0. Then if we substitute it in the give, and if we substitute the value of phi from the 87th equation, then we will get, finally we get a very important relationship, that is sigma square is equal to g into k into tan h kd. This is the famous dispersion relationship, that is sigma square is equal to g into k. G is gravitational acceleration, k is wave propagation constant, and hyperbolic tangent of kd. What is kd? Kd can be written as, kd is nothing but 2 pi upon L into d, or 2 pi dl. So underline this thing and write the value of kd here. Hyperbolic tangent tan h kd, where kd is 2 pi d by L. This 2 pi d by L gives us the relationship between depth of water to the wavelength. So our interest is in the dispersion relationship. We are trying to establish the mathematical relationship between d, L and t, so that dispersion is more if the water depth is high. If we go to the higher water depth, dispersion is more. So this is the important equation, sigma square equal to gk tan h kd. So if you substitute the value of sigma as 2 pi upon t, and if you substitute the value of k as 2 pi upon L, then you will get the value of c as, that is L upon t, under root gl upon 2 pi tan h kd. So if you this is for the tan h kd is equal to 1. From table we will see tan h kd is equal to 1 for deep water. For a deep water, this subscript 0 stands for deep water, so that this tan h kd term becomes 1. So finally celerity is C0 is equal to, actually C0 into under root G L0 upon 2 pi. So we get the celerity for deep water, and celerity for shallow water is, so from these two expressions are also important. Wavelength of a deep water L0 is given as, if you substitute 9.81 for G and pi as 3.14, take in your notebook this relationship. There can be a question, similar question like this in assignment. L0 equal to 1.56 T square, and L0 equal to 1.56 T square, and for shallow water we get C equal to under root G D. This you are already aware about in open channel flow. In open channel flow, Froude number is given as velocity of flow divided by under root Gy, where this y is nothing but this depth of water. So that we say that this root Gy or root Gd, root Gy is equal to root Gd, we can write, is nothing but celerity. So celerity of shallow water wave is root Gd. So if you substitute G unit meter per second square and d as meter. In the square root, there will be meter square divided by second square, and we get the unit of celerity as meter per second. What is more important in this case is equation 105. Derivation part you can see later on. The celerity of wave in shallow water is given as under root GD, and similarly celerity of wave in deep water is given as C naught, C equal to under root GL upon 2 pi into tan H KD. So this is 102, equation number 102. You focus on 102 and 105. In the dispersion equation, we have derived the equation for C and C0, and finally the ratio of depth of water to the deep water wavelength is equal to depth of water at any location and the wavelength at given xt into tan HKD. This gives relationship between D and L, and this gives relationship between L and T. So objective of this thing. So another very important thing is that when we are going to call a water as deep water or shallow water. For deep water, note down this table. When the depth of water is greater than, when the ratio, that is depth of water divided by wavelength, is greater than 0.5, it is called as deep water. If the ratio of D by L is less than or equal to 0.05, 120, it is called as shallow water. So that in between 0.05 to 0.5, it is the intermediate water. If we multiply D by L by 2 pi, we get angular values, that is the phase angle greater than phi for deep water. It is pi by 10 for shallow water. And if we take tan H KD, I have told you KD is nothing but 2 pi D upon L. Tan H KD value is 1 for deep water. This is more important to remember. Tan H KD is approximately equal to 1 for deep water, which gives you the equation 1.56 T square, relationship between wavelength and wave period. That is, wavelength L is equal to 1.56 into T square, and this for shallow water it simply remains 2 pi D by L. So this is the classification or celerity in different water depth. So if we know this tan H KD parameter, you can just substitute tan H KD value and you will get the value of C from these equations. So this graph indicates the relationship between D by L naught to D by L. This is not very important. This is a curve obtained from experimental study. Now we have we have completed the sixth subtopic, that is dispersion in the wave. So physical significance of dispersion. Can any participant tell me what is the motivation of studying the dispersion of wave? Yes, please. Hello. Hello. Yes, Nitin. Hello. Can you hear me, Nitin? Hello, Nitin. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are.
What is the use? आवाज येतो का?
हाँ सर येत आहे.
What is the आपल्याला use काय? What is the use of dispersion equation? Just summarize it in one line. We have studied the sixth topic, that is dispersion. What is the use of dispersion equations? You can see later on the equations also. But what is the use?
आदित्य त्यांना ते व्हिडिओ बंद करायला सांगितलं त्यांचा.
कोणता माझा का?
Hello.
आदित्य.
मोबाईलचा व्हिडिओ बंद.
Sir, कुलकर्णी सर व्हिडिओ ऑफ
हा.
करता का?
माझा का लॅपटॉपचा म्हणजे डेस्कटॉपचा व्हिडिओ ऑफ करू का, स्लाइड ऑफ करू का?
स्लाइड ऑफ नाही सर, बाजूला ऑप्शन आहे खाली रेड बटनच्या बाजूला कॅमेरा.
हो एक मिनिट व्हिडिओ, अच्छा सॉरी, हा व्हिडिओ ऑफ करतो मी. हा ठीक आहे, हा ठीक आहे. हा हॅलो. हा यस, अदर्स लाईक संदीप कोरके. हॅलो. ज्योती. हॅलो. कॅन यू हिअर मी?
व्हिडिओ बंद करा.
व्हिडिओ बंद केलाय सर.
नाही, तुम्ही दिसतायत आम्हाला फोटो.
अच्छा. हा.
दिसतील ते पण.
अच्छा मग ठीक आहे. अच्छा एक मिनिट. हा नाव. हॅलो. एनीबडी? नितीन.
Yes, sir.
What is the significance of dispersion equations?
The dispersion relation.
Which is the final equation? That is C naught equal to 1 point, C naught equal to one equation, and C equal to under root GD for shallow water, and for deep water C naught. These two equations. And also we have established the relationship between D, L, that is depth, L, and time period T. So what is a dispersion? Yes, Nitin? Yes?
Proper dispersion of waves in the medium.
Yeah, so by which we are trying to develop the relationship between celerity and water depth. Celerity and water depth. For deep water depth, the conditions have been given in the table. These are the conditions. So remember this thing. A deep water is that water where the ratio of 2 pi d by L is greater than pi, or simply the ratio of d by L is greater than 0.5. And we call a shallow water. Where does the shallow water occur, Nitin? For the ocean, shallow water occurs at the seashore, and within the main body of ocean we get the deep water. Is it clear, friends? Hello. Am I audible? Hello, Niti. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
So what is the difference between shallow water and deep water? What is the difference between shallow water and deep water? Yes. Look at this slide. We say that wave is traveling in deep water if the ratio d by L is greater than 0.5. It is traveling in shallow water if the ratio of d by L is less than 0.05. What is this ratio exactly? It is the ratio of depth of water to the wavelength. Depth of water to the wavelength. Okay, I hope this dispersion is clear to you. Now we will move on to another important topic. That is, we want to calculate the kinematics of wave particle. In understanding the kinematics of a wave particle, we have to find out the two parameters. One is velocity of a wave particle, and second, acceleration of a wave particle. Am I clear, friends? Hello. Are you getting my voice? Participants, hello. Aditya.
सर आवाज येते सर?
येतो ना आवाज? काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही ना?
नाही नाही
आणि
नाही.
आणि स्लाइड आणि
या ठिकाणी अनम्यूट केलं तर सर हे होईल, आवाज येईल तिथं, म्हणून ते अनम्यूट नाही करत आहे.
नाही नाही, आता आवाज येतो ना, मी काय करू,
हो, येतो.
अनम्यूट करू का?
नाही
हा,
नाही
आणि
नाही, तुमचं
स्लाइड
दिसत
दिसते
आहे.
का?
हा,
हा,
दिसत
ठीक
आहे.
आहे. हा, okay, now we are trying to find out the velocity and acceleration. So this can be found out from the fundamental equation of velocity potential phi that we have already discussed at length. So if we know the value of phi, velocity potential, then we can find out the x component of velocity as differentiation of this equation 108 with respect to x, we get minus dou psi upon dou x, so that the only term that is differentiated is kx. Differentiation of kx is comes outside, so it is cos h k d plus z divided by cos h k d remains same, and cos kx minus sigma t becomes sin kx minus sigma t. In this way, we can find out the value of x component of velocity u from equation 109, and also we can find out the w also by differentiating it with respect to z. But now let us focus on this horizontal water particle velocity, which is also called as wave orbital velocity u. This is given by this equation, and if we substitute the dispersion relationship, that is c square is equal to famous relationship, square of celerity is equal to g by k tan h kd, and if we substitute amplitude as wave height divided by 2, a is equal to h by 2, in the equation 110 we substitute a as h by 2, that is h by 2, g remains g divided by sigma as it is k. Again this k square, why it is k square? Because if we substitute the value of this thing, that is c square into k is equal to gk tan h kd, and we can substitute this as c square k square, this term remains same, and this is sin kx minus sigma t. So if we know the height of wave h for the given data, that is height of wave h, wave propagation constant sigma, celerity of wave c, and wave propagation constant k, and angular velocity sigma. If these two constants are known, height of wave is known, and celerity is known, we can determine the value of particle velocity u. So write this equation 112, or focus on this equation. Velocity u of a particle is directly proportional, the meaning of this equation, u is directly proportional to height of wave. If the wave height is more, velocity of the wave is more. If the wave speed is high, then it is square of the wave speed. U is high, c square, u is directly proportional to c square. If phase angle is more, from 0 to 2 pi, u is more. Okay, so, and regarding depth, if depth of water is large, then u is large. So that what is more important, a particle velocity of a water wave depends upon wave height, wave constants, water depth, and phase of the wave. This is the derivation of u, very important, u component. Similarly, we can find out the vertical velocity component w by differentiating the velocity potential with respect to z, and we get similar equation. Again w is, but it is negative pi h upon t, and once you determine u and w, that is horizontal velocity and vertical velocity, Then velocity components at any depth z, you will see that the propagation of wave is dampening down. So if you go deep and deep into the sea from 1 meter to 4 meter, you will find this wave configuration. So but everywhere velocities are harmonic in x and t. So waves are harmonic in x, distance of advancement of wave and time period of wave. So the characteristics of waves are that, first of all, water waves are harmonic in nature. Second things, waves are damped at larger depths. Damped means u and v values. There is an effect of depth on u and w values, and the horizontal velocity components are here in this figure. They are shown here. And finally, how the u varies with the phase. If the phase is 0, u is 0 and w is negative. If the phase theta is pi by 2, u is positive, w is 0. For theta is equal to pi, u is 0 and w is positive. We can, by using the equation of u and w, what we have seen, we can determine the sign of u and w. And at theta 3 by 2 pi, u is negative, w is 0. And finally at 2 pi, u is 0 and w is negative. So this is very important to note, the nature of u and w from 0 to 2 pi phase. Then once we know the velocity components u and w, we can easily determine the value of accelerations in x and z direction. To find out the acceleration, we have to simply differentiate the expression of u with respect to t, dou u by dou t, and az is given as dou w by dou t. So similarly, this is acceleration of a wave particle for the given value of x coordinate. This is the acceleration of a wave particle for the given value of depth z. And wave accelerates rapidly if this phase angle is more. Similarly, wave acceleration is also proportional to wave height, like the velocity. This expression for the fluid particle kinematics reported above, that is u and w and ax and az, is for water surface elevation. For the given water surface elevation eta has the coordinate, eta is a function of x, given location x, and given value of z. So on the sine curve, so if this is the eta, if you take any intermediate particle, this particle has got this wave elevation eta. This eta is, if we take the origin 0 at this point, when theta is equal to 0, when we travel at a distance x and when we are at time t, then the value of this elevation of wave is eta. That is above static water level, that is the eta, elevation of wave. I hope participants are clear about this thing. Hello, Nitin or anybody else? Hello? Local acceleration and local velocity. Yes, can you speak? Somebody, if speaks, then I can move on to next topic, that is displacement of a particle. Yes, friends. Hello. Hello. Anybody? Anil Deshpande. Hello. Hello. Rajmane. Anybody can speak? Yes. Aditya.
येस सर.
आवाज येतो ना?
येतोय सर.
हा,
सर
बरं.
पार्टिसिपंटनी अनम्यूट केलं ना तर हे होऊन जाईल, तिथं नॉईस येतो सर मध्ये, तर त्याच्यामुळे ते अनम्यूट नाही करत आहे कोणी.
बरं, मग नाही कोणी रिस्पॉन्स द्यायला पाहिजे ना आता, कारण हा आपला टॉपिक झालाय ना, तर साधारणतः ह्याच्यावरती आपल्याला
हा,
एक दोन तर त्याच्यावरती काही क्वेश्चन्स होते माझे. हा, जमेल का?
बरोबर, ठीक आहे सर.
हा, बघ if somebody
हो.
then 4 topics are remaining, then I can go to the next topic. Yes, anybody? What is the summary of this particular point, that is particle velocity and acceleration? Can anybody speak on this topic? Yes, friends. Nitin, hello. Our session should have been more interactive. Hello, Nitin. Can you unmute your mic and
Yes,
tell
sir.
me? आपण ह्या what have we seen in this topic?
Actually, these two equations which represents the uh, fluid particles of kinematics, which is above the water surface elevation, and
Very good.
has to be calculated, which is the sine curve.
Yeah. And what are the 4 equations? Equation of AX and AZ, acceleration. Equation
Yes.
of AX and AZ. And what are the previous 2 more important equations? U and W. U and W. U component of velocity and W component of velocity. We have derived the equations for U and W, and also we have derived the equation for AX and AZ. Is it clear, Nitin?
Yes, sir.
Hello. The purpose of this topic is to make you know what are the values of velocity components U and W and AX and AZ, and how U, W, AX and AZ are related to phase angle, are related to water depth, are related to amplitude of wave and wave constant sigma and k. Is it fine? Hello. Derivation part you can see at detail from the study material. Is it okay, Nitin? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now we very good. Now we will move to another topic, that is we want to know the displacement of a particle under the wave. We have seen the diagram of wave. So the expression for individual horizontal and vertical water particle displacement, we are considering a wave generated from a water particle. So a particle displaces in x direction can be determined by integration of, simply we know velocity is equal to displacement upon distance divided by time. So if I want to find out distance, I will take velocity into time, u into t, and integrate it. We know the expression of u, that is h upon 2, this ratio cos h k d plus z sin h k d, and cos of this phase angle u into dt. And after integration you will get this thing, and similarly you will get the displacement of particle in vertical direction as this thing h by 2 and this thing. So what is the difference between these two equations? In these two equations, in the horizontal displacement there is a cosine of the angle, because when you take the cos of anything, cos of phase angle, we get the adjacent side, that is x coordinate, and when we take the sine of that angle we get the vertical coordinate. Is it clear, Nitin? This is the point to be remembered here or to be understood here, that in delta x there is a cosine, cos of kx minus sigma t. In delta z it is a sine of kx minus sigma t. Now what we do, this entire h by 2 and this ratio we will call it as capital D, and this ratio we will call it as capital B, so that we take this capital D on this side, so it becomes delta X divided by capital D. We take capital B as a constant on this side, it becomes delta Z upon D, and this is equal to cos kx minus sigma t, and this is equal to sine. If we make the square of cos square and sine square, why we are doing this thing? Because we know the famous trigonometrical relationship, cos square theta plus sine square theta is equal to what, Nitin? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Nitin? Cos square
Yes, sir.
theta plus sine square theta is equal to what? Then I'll go
1.
to next slide. 1. So that we make use of that trigonometric function, and so this delta x upon d whole square plus delta x upon b whole square is equal to 1. What this equation looks like? Equation 123. Yes, Nitin. This is the equation of ellipse. This is the equation of an ellipse showing that water particle moves in an elliptical orbit. So this is a major axis, semi-major axis capital D. This capital B is semi-minor axis. This semi-major axis is a measure of displacement of particle in horizontal direction, and this semi-minor axis represents the displacement of a particle in vertical direction. So once we can calculate D and B, we can calculate the D provided we know the wave height h, and we know the depth of water D and Z coordinate. We can find out D and B, and if we substitute D and B values, and if we know this cos square kx minus sigma t and sin square kx minus sigma t, we can find out delta x and it is delta x and delta z. It is wrongly typed here. It is delta z. It should be delta x upon d whole square plus delta z upon b whole square is equal to 1. So this particular equation, in this equation we will see that how this equation tells us that the motion or orbital motion of a particle, if we use them for shallow water condition, the condition for shallow water condition is that ratio of D by L must be less than 0.05, and for this condition the hyperbolic, sine hyperbolic of k d plus z becomes simply k d plus z, k into d plus z, and sin h of kd becomes simply kd. The sin h goes away, so sin h term becomes kd plus z, and this is kd. If we substitute these values, as we know the constant d is h upon 2, 1 upon kd, by substituting these values. So if you go to this previous slide, we can substitute the value of sin h kd, we can substitute the value of sin h k d plus z. These are the hyperbolic functions, because waves, when waves travels, it is of hyperbolic nature. So it actually siphons off, or it boosts, it blows out. The wave blows out, so that these are the hyperbolic functions which are used. So after substituting the value of D and B from this sin hk and this sin hkd, we get the simple values of D and B, h by 2, 1 upon kd, and h by 2, d plus z upon d. So this is a major axis and this is a minor axis. So these two quantities are different in the denominator, so that we say that in shallow water or at seashore, the water particles orbit in elliptical way, whereas for deep water, if we find out the value of D and B, the value is same, h by 2 e to the power k z. So in 129 equation, any participant can tell me about the semi-major axis and semi-minor axis? Hello? Yes, please. Hello. What is the value of D and B in this equation number 129? Nitin, you unmute your mic and please tell me. Yes. Nitin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, what is this h by 2 into e to the power kz? What is this? This is constant D, correct?
Yes.
And constant B is also same. So when the semi-major axis is equal to semi-minor axis, what is the shape of orbit? Nitin?
Elliptical.
No, elliptical becomes circular because both the axes are same. This h by 2 e to the power kz and h by 2 e to the power kz, they are similar. The size, major axis and minor axis are same for a circle. So this shows that for deep water condition, that is within the main body of ocean, the water particles, they travel in circular orbits. So so note down this thing. So my question is like this. So you will say that in deep water, you will find that these are the circles. In this case, in figure number 4, the deep water, there are circles, but in shallow water, there is an ellipse. Could you see the ellipse and circle in this particle displacement or motion? Nitin? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in the third stage, there is a circular orbit, and in the first stage, there is an elliptical orbit. The value of capital D and capital B are different for shallow water, whereas for deep water, capital D is evaluated equal to capital B. So, but the amplitude of the water particle displacement, but the amplitude decreases exponentially when you go deep and deep. So this is the ocean water surface. If you go down this water surface, then you will find that amplitude of the wave decreases. The water particle displacement becomes small. Water particle does not displace much to the wave height, that is eta, at a depth equal to 1/2 the wavelength. When the wavelength is half of this not L0, 0 stands for deep water. The variation of water particle displacements under different water depth conditions are shown in this figure. Is it clear? So in this topic, so we will summarize this particle displacement. Now, from these particular equations, we will come to know that the particle displaces because of what? What is the reason of displacement of a particle? What is the displacement of a particle? It can be shown from this sketch. Say for example, if a particle is here, say for example at this particular point, after some time this particle will move up, so that there is a vertical displacement of a particle, and at the same time period particle also traveled some x distance. So at different time periods, a displacement of particle takes place in x direction, and displacement of particle also takes place in z direction. So this water particle displacement, it is again a motion, mechanics of wave motion. From the mechanics of wave motion, we can find out the velocity's acceleration, and also we can find out the displacement vector, that is delta x and delta z. And from that displacement, we come to know what is the orbital shape. Is it an elliptical shape orbits or circular shape orbits? So when you advance from shore of the ocean to the deep water, you will find that waves which are generated at the shore, seashore, they are having the elliptical orbit motion, and when you go deep into the water, you notice the circular orbital motions in the water. Is it clear? Dear participant, anybody? Hello? Hello? Nitin? Then only two topics are remaining, that is pressure distribution. Three topics are remaining in fact: pressure distribution under wave, then group celerity, and energy and power. Before going for these three topics, let me ask you one question. Nitin, hello? Nitin, hello?
Yes, sir.
Or any, what did you understand from displacement equations? Very good.
Yes.
Just come out with some answer. What do you understand by displacement equation? Particle displacement equations. That is delta x and delta z.
Which shows the nature of the wave. That is
Nature of the
elliptical.
wave. Elliptical or circular. Only two, and for intermediate waters we are not studying in detail, but for shore water and deep ocean body, the orbital motion is elliptical and circular. Is it clear? And that we have also proved, correct? We have proved it by equations. Is it correct? Okay. Now let us move on to a very important topic, that is what is the pressure distribution under the waves. Pressure distribution under the waves. To determine the value of pressure, that is the gauge pressure P, we make use of the Bernoulli's equations, which already I taught. The velocity potential divided by T, this velocity energy plus pressure energy plus potential energy equal to 0. We substitute the value of P by multiplying this equation 130 by rho on both the sides. We get the value of P as rho into dou phi upon dou t minus gamma z, and substituting the value of this velocity potential phi from our previous equation, we get the expression for P as static head gamma into z. In fluid mechanics, you know, gamma z gives you static pressure, and this gamma h by 2 and this trigonometrical component and hyperbolic cosines, they give you the dynamic pressure. The first term on the right hand side is related to the wave speed, and second term is related to the z coordinate. So if we focus on equation 132, the pressure under wave is a combination of static pressure gamma z and dynamic pressure, that is a triangular pressure distribution gamma h by 2. Okay, and this term. Hello participants. Hello. Again I am going to Nitin. Hello Nitin. Hello.
Yes, sir.
What is 132? Equation 132. What is the meaning of equation? Pressure under wave. What is the pressure? How we find out the pressure under wave?
Which is the static and the combination of
static pressure we can determine at z coordinate. If we know the z coordinate, okay, z coordinate, that is xz frame is there, so we know whether we are moving in the zone of wave or whether we are moving in the zone of water body for this gamma z. It is for this entire z coordinate ranging from minus d to eta. What is the range of z, Nitin? Hello. What is the range of z? Hello. Z ranges from, write down if it is possible for you, z ranges from minus d, that is sea bed, to the elevation of wave, that is eta. and this is a dynamic pressure. Okay. Now we can manipulate this equation and we get gamma into this wave height eta into coefficient of pressure or pressure response factor. Pressure response factor here is given as 1 upon cos h kd. Write down a pressure response factor Kp is equal to 1 upon cos h kd, and this pressure response factor at the seabed it is eta upon 1 upon cos h kd. So if we substitute the value of d and eta, we get this pressure distribution. So we are more interested in pressure distribution. This is a triangular pressure distribution. Pressure is 0 at the water surface where there is atmospheric pressure. Then it in the base is d minus eta by cos h kd, and here it is d by eta. So that under the trough, that is under the trough, what is the value of 1 upon cos h kd? Nitin, hello. For seabed or under the trough, what is the value of 1 upon cos h kd? Can you hear me, Nitin? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Here, what is the d minus eta? Multiplying constant is 1. So what is the value of 1 upon cos h kd? Write down. 1 upon cos h kd is equal to Kp, pressure response factor. It is equal to 1 at the seabed. Pressure response factor is equal to 1 at the seabed. So this is the pressure distribution, triangular pressure distribution in fluid mechanics. We know as we go down and down, the pressure increases from for this thing 0 to this d minus eta by cos h kd, and for this wave this is d plus eta by cos h kd, and this is d plus eta. So it is pressure is gamma into d plus eta. What we have seen here, pressure is pressure head is equal to P by gamma, where is specific or unit weight of water, Newton per cubic meter. So this is regarding the pressure distribution under a progressive wave. Pressure distribution. Is it clear? Yes. Hello. Aditya. Aditya.
Yes, sir.
ऐकू येतं ना, आवाज येतो ना माझा, त्याच्यासाठी विचारलंय.
हो सर. हो सर.
Now after pressure distribution we will go to a concept, very important concept of group celerity. What is group celerity basically? When a group of wave or wave train travels, when a group of waves or a wave train travels, its speed is generally not identical, or it is not same to the speed of individual wave. It means that if we travel alone, we can go with high speed, and if we travel in group, our speed is less. It is the same analogy that a velocity or celerity of the wave or the speed of the wave in group is less than the speed of individual wave. If any two wave trains of the same amplitude but slightly different wavelengths progress in the same direction, that is in x direction, the resultant surface disturbance is represented by sum of the individual disturbances. So here it is wrong. It is eta 1 plus eta 2. Make the correction. So eta total is equal to eta 1 plus eta 2, and the equation of wave surface is always given as a fraction. So this is a wave height. Eta is a wave height or elevation of wave surface. elevation of wave surface, maximum it can be equal to amplitude of wave A, and this quantity sine of phase angle is a fraction multiplied by A, it is less than A, so that A into sine, by substituting the values for K1 and sigma 1, similarly for K2 and sigma 2, we can get the eta t, that is the total or total disturbance. Eta t is a sum of individual disturbances. Then how we can find out eta t? So eta t means we take the nodes on the waves. So what are the nodes? Nodes are at different phases, 0, pi by 2 and so on. So if we will solve the equations for eta t, we get the equation for x node. X coordinate of a node for a group of waves traveling in a particular direction is 2m plus 1 pi times this particular ratio. So 139 equation, and the distance traveled we can find as L2 L1 upon L2 minus L1, and so the positions of the nodes at a time t0 are pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi divided by these constants for m 0, 1, 2, 3. What is the final intention of this topic is that we want to find out the speed of propagation of the nodes, not wave, but the speed of propagation of the nodes in case of wave group. Hence, the speed of the propagation of the wave group, that is called as Cg, is also called as group velocity or group celerity, is given as a change of sigma, change of propagation constant divided by change of angular wave velocity constant. D sigma by dk is equal to Cg, that is group celerity. Or if you know the constant sigma and k for first wave, if we know the constant sigma 2 and k2 for second wave, we can simply take the ratio of their differences. That gives us the value of group celerity Cg, which is always less than a celerity of single wave. And finally, the group celerity Cg is given as for shallow waters and deep water. So in above equations, you will come across with one important term, argument, that is 1 plus 2 kd upon sin h 2 kd. So 2 kd upon sin h 2 kd, if it is 0, then it is shallow water. If it is equal to 1, it is a deep water by substituting the value of d. And what is more important is equation number 146. It says that group celerity is half the celerity of wave in deep water, whereas for shallow water, group celerity is equal to celerity of individual wave, that is already we have derived root GD. So this table already we have seen. Hence, in shallow water, the group and phase velocities are same and is of only function of depth of water. So when you go to the previous slide, the physical significance of equation is that Cg, that is group celerity for shallow water, is dependent on the water depth, only water depth d. But in case of deep water, this group celerity does not depend on the depth of water. So in this paragraph, I have summarized it. Hence, in shallow water, the group velocity is a function of depth, whereas in deep water, the group velocity is a function of wavelength. So remember this thing, Cg equal to half C naught and Cg equal to under root GD. That is, in one case, it is depth of water. In shallow water, whatever waves are developed, So the depth, shallow depth means the speed of the wave is dependent on the depth of water. But as you go deep and deep into the sea, then the speed of a wave is no more a function of the depth, but it is only the function of a wavelength. So in deep water, longer is the wavelength, as it is evident, waves travel faster and the waves are more dispersive and they are propagating in dispersive medium, and the celerity is dependent on wavelength. So this is quite interesting topic. From group celerity, we have inferred that, or we have understood that when we make two parts of the wave motion, that is one part, that is the waves occurring on shore water surface and waves occurring on a water surface of main ocean body. So the wave speed or the wave velocity for the ocean water occurring on the seashore, we call it as simply C, and C, which is equal to under root GD, and for C naught is the wave speed on the surface of water body in the deep ocean, that is C naught. C naught is a function of wavelength capital L, whereas C is a function of only water depth. This is a summary of celerity, group celerity. Any participant has any, so before taking the questions regarding the understanding, can anybody tell me the significance of these two important equations? CG, group celerity for deep water, is half of C naught and CG equal to under root GD. Under root GD is known to you in open channel flow also. This is the wave of celerity which we use this expression in Froude number also. Okay, if the Froude number is 1, we say that the speed of the wave is equal to the speed of water. Hello Nitin. Hello Nitin. Hello. Hello. Hello Nitin, can you hear me? Hello.
Sir, आवाज येते sir तुमचा. You are audible.
Then can you tell me the difference between CG of deep water and CG of shallow water, group celerity? Yes. Yes, friends. Hello. Yes, friends. Anybody? Any participant? Remember that CG is a function of C naught. So only L. And this is C root GD. Now the last topic is very important topic. I will cover within 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. That is energy of wave and power of wave. This is the last topic. Aditya sir, hello. Aditya.
Yes sir. Yes sir. You are audible.
माझा आवाज येतो. आता शेवटचा टॉपिक सुरू आहे.
Yes sir.
वेव एनर्जी अँड वेव पॉवर, व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. आणि सगळे पार्टिसिपंट्स ना दिसतं काय हे? Is it visible? Okay. Now we talk about a very important concept of ocean waves possessing the energy. We all know that energy, what is energy? Energy is a work done by wave. What is work done? It is, in a simple mechanics term, force into displacement. Force into displacement, that is Newton into meter divided by time. So that total energy of a wave is sum of its potential energy and kinetic energy. We know that wave gets potential energy because of wave height. wave height, that is Z coordinate, and wave derives the kinetic energy because of U and W velocity components. So U and W components, if we determine U and W, that is horizontal and vertical components of velocity, we simply square them and divide it by 2g, we get the kinetic energy head. And if we know the potential head or Z, we can get the potential energy. And sum of these two gives you the total energy. So if we want to find out the total energy under the wave has the energy, and we consider the potential energy of the wave at above, that is Z equal to minus D. So minus D is from still water level to the seabed, and we consider Z equal to minus D for potential energy. With a wave from present is determined from which the potential energy of the water in the absence of wave. If wave is not there, what is the potential energy? That is first of all calculated. So potential energy of a small column of water, if we consider a small column of water like this, whose this is a column whose length is dx, and we take the elemental area, depth of this elemental area of the column is dz, this is dx, and at a center point of this area, two velocity components are u and w. So this is a column under the wave, water column under the wave. And this water column displaces from this end to this end during one cycle of a wave. It travels from left to right. So when it travels from left to right, the energy possessed or energy associated with this column of water is transferred. So what is this thing exactly in wave mechanics? The most essential element is that how the energy, or that is the disturbance, it's getting transmitted from one point to other point in the motion of a wave. So that for this particular column, if we integrate, then the unit weight is gamma, that is weight divided by volume. Volume of the column is its area A, which is nothing but dx into d plus eta. The height of the column is d plus eta. This is very important. Height of the column is d plus eta. Why it is d plus eta? Because this horizontal datum level above which the coordinate is eta, that is the elevation of wave surface eta, below which there is a z coordinate, that is depth of water d. If we add eta plus d, we get the total height of this wave. Total height of this wave or total height of this column is d plus eta. Therefore, what we do, we take this height of the column is d plus eta, its length is dx, and for say unit width perpendicular to this particular slide, so 1 into dx into d plus eta gives us the volume of this column. Volume of this column multiplied by weight divided by unit volume gives you the unit, that is the force in Newton. Newton by meter cube into meter cube Newton. Newton into meter gives you energy. So what is this thing? This force is acting at the center point. So half of this thing. So it acts at the total height of this triangle is say d plus eta at half at the centroid of this depth. We know in the hydrostatic pressure distribution, at the centroid the pressure force is exerted. So what is the pressure force Any participant, what is the pressure force? Yes, pressure force is gamma into dx into d plus eta. The unit is Newton. The first term on the right hand side, in the product term, first term has the unit Newton, that is force. Force into distance, that is d plus eta by 2. Force into distance. What is force into distance? Nitin? Hello? Hello? Force into distance is nothing but work done. Work done or energy. So potential energy, finally gamma plus d plus eta whole square divided by 2 into dx. So is it clear? dPE1? Hello? Nitin? Dhawale sir, I am only asking to one participant because I could not see the names of others. Hello? Any participant, please? Hello?
Yes.
Yes. Have you understood this equation of potential energy under the wave? Yes, please. Response. Hello? Hello? Aditya? Again, I am coming to you. Aditya sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
आवाज तो येतोय ना equation हा तर I think participants have understood this equation for E1. E1 is potential energy by considering a small column. Then we take the average of potential energy per unit surface area. So gamma remains same, this gamma by 2 as it is, and we integrate this d plus eta whole square into dx. So while integrating it, we integrate over entire wavelength L, we integrate over entire wave period T, therefore we get the average mean value of potential energy. If you solve it, you will get the final result as potential energy is directly proportional to amplitude of wave. If the wave amplitude is large, then it changes with the square. If wave amplitude is 2 meter, for example, then the potential energy is equal to gamma into 2 square by 4. If the wave amplitude becomes 4, so it is 4 into 4, 16 times. So it is a square, and potential energy also take down is directly proportional to depth of water. So potential energy 1, it is due to depth and due to wave is a sum of gamma d square by 2 plus gamma a square by 4. If alone we take, if we neglect the wave and if we take only water body, then potential energy of a water of height d, everybody knows it is gamma h square by 2, that is for in fluid mechanics, it is gamma d square by 2. Now the net potential energy is the total potential energy by considering the wave minus the potential energy associated with the water without considering the wave, and this equation is very important equation. You must remember it. Potential energy of a wave is simply given as mean potential energy, average potential energy is gamma into a square by 4. So potential energy is simply a function of amplitude of wave for the given fluid. Have you understood this thing? So remember this equation, potential energy of a wave is gamma a square by 4. So if you take the dimension, if you verify the dimension, what is the dimension of gamma? Nitin, hello? What is the dimension of gamma? Unit weight of water. Hello? Nitin? What is the dimension of
kilonewton per
gamma?
meter cube.
Yeah, kilonewton per meter cube. And what is the unit of A square? Amplitude is always measured in meter square. Huh? Kilonewton per meter cube into A square, meter square. So this is the energy per unit surface area. Again multiplied by area meter square. In the numerator there will be meter raised to power 4 and in the denominator meter cube. So meter 4 divided by meter cube. Finally, what is the unit of potential energy? My final question. Yes, Nitin. What is the unit of potential energy? Hello? Yes? Newton, kilonewton into meter or Newton into meter. Write down. Force into displacement, which is the work done. Is it okay? Hello? Now, as we have determined potential energy, which is a function of amplitude of wave. If the wave amplitude is more, energy is more. So the waves with high amplitude, they have more potential energy. Also, we will see that kinetic energy, we all know it is half mv square, where m is the mass of the fluid and v is the resultant velocity. Resultant velocity, x component of velocity is u, z is w. We square out this thing, resultant velocity is under root u square plus w square. So a kinetic energy of an element dke is half under root u square plus w square. This entire whole square resultant, half m v square, and mass is mass density, that is kilogram per cubic meter, into dz is depth, x is distance of advancement of wave, into 1 the width. So average kinetic energy, mean kinetic energy, if we integrate it for 0 to t time period, from 0 to L wavelength, and from bottom of the C minus d to the wave height eta, we again get the mean kinetic energy as again same, that is gamma a square by 4. You just try this integration. So the total energy becomes, as total energy E is equal to potential energy, it is gamma a square by 4 plus kinetic energy gamma a square by 4 is equal to gamma a square by 2. So total energy associated with the wave is gamma a square by 2. So if the wave has high amplitude, can we harness high energy? Yes, friends. If the amplitude of the wave is more, do we get the more energy from the wave? We can use the turbines to extract the energy. So if the wave amplitude is high, if the value of A in the equation 153 is more, then value of E is more. Any participant, please? We are in the last phase of our lecture. Have you understood this energy concept? Derivation part, don't worry. If you look at the equation carefully. Yes, yes, please. Hello. Hello, friends. Any participant, please?
Yes, sir.
So what is energy now? What is the final equation? Gamma. Be loud, please. Yes.
A square, gamma a square by 2.
Very good. If you know the wave amplitude, can you determine E? You can determine E from wave amplitude, correct? So the total energy per unit surface area of that column is the sum of the average potential and kinetic energy, and this equation 153 is also called as specific energy density. We know about the specific energy in fluid mechanics. So this is the specific energy density of a wave, gamma a square by 2. Very important topic of energy. Last part is power, water power, wave power, wave power. So what is wave power? So that what is power? We know that power is equal to, we always know that is gamma QH, like that in fluid mechanics, divided by efficiency. Q is expressed in terms of velocity. So it is gamma into velocity into that energy. So energy E into velocity of wave, that is celerity of wave, E into C, and multiplied by 1 that wave constant N. N is given by 1/2 1 plus 2 kd upon sin h 2 kd. So this N constant, don't worry about N. It is a famous equation for N, wave constant N. It is a function of propagation constant K and depth of water D. If you know the depth of water, how deep you are in the sea, and if you know the wave property K, you can find out the N, and N into C is nothing but group celerity or group speed, E into CZ. Already we have seen that for deep water, CG is in the previous equation, C0 upon 2. So power in the deep water is C0 by 2. So we can say that power in a deep water is a function of wavelength. Write down this thing. Power of a wave in deep ocean water is only the function of wavelength. Is only the function of wavelength. It is not dependent upon the depth of water. Whereas power in the seashore wave, power in the seashore wave is simply E into C. It is E into C. So, but as we know, E into C, C is nothing but E into CZ, and E into CZ is E into root GD. So power in the shallow water wave is only function of depth of water, depth of water, depth of water. So these 156 and 157 equation. So what is power? I have written in this point, a wave energy flux. What is wave energy flux? Flux is a force, mass flux. It is the rate at which energy is transmitted in the direction of wave propagation. It is the rate at which the energy is transmitted in the direction of wave propagation across an imaginary vertical plane held perpendicular to the direction of wave, and that plane extends over a distance d plus eta, that is from wave surface to the ocean bed. Then the average energy flux per unit wave crest width. Wave crest width is given by this N into C. N into C gives you wave crest width. So it is a flux per unit wave crest width transmitted across a plane perpendicular to wave advance. These are the equations for power, and by using the law of conservation of power, a power a wave has in shore water must be equal to the power of a wave when it enters into the deep ocean body. So that if you substitute A as h by 2 in the above equations, then that is gamma A square by 4. If you substitute A as h by 2, capital H by 2, wave height by 2, gamma h square, and 2 into 4, that is 8. So this way you can find out gamma A square by 2 energy, and this is gamma h square by 8. Again, this is gamma h square by 8. For shallow water it is Cg, for deep water it is C naught divided by 2. And if you take the ratio of the h, that is wave height at any depth, divided by wave height in the deep water, that square is given as C naught by C 1 upon 2n, and this is called as H upon H naught. If you take square root of this thing, C naught upon C upon 1 upon 2n, where n is this quantity. So if you take 2 on this side, 2n becomes this quantity, and this is called as Shaolin coefficient of wave. This Shaolin, if the Shaolin coefficient Ks is given to you, if its value is say half, then half is equal to H upon H naught. It means that if you know H naught, that is the wave height in the deep water, you can find out the wave height of wave at any depth from this particular ratio, provided you know the C naught, the celerity of deep water wave and celerity of shallow water wave, and this constant n, so that the above equation gives the ratio between wave height at any depth in a shallower water to the wave height, that is deep water wave height. The relationship obtained without considering the irregular variation in the sea bottom. We consider almost the horizontal sea bottoms. So this is called as Shaolin coefficient Ks. So this is very important. Now, to sum up this thing, that energy and power, so I would like to ask you one question. In Marathi language, we always know that, Aditya, माझं ऐकायला येतं ना?
हा येते सर येते.
So many participants may be knowing Marathi, but for them also, we always say that उथळ पाणी जे असते, पाण्याची डेप्थ कमी असते, त्याला खळखळाट फार असतो. What does it means? The water which has got less depth, water at the shore, the waves developed on the shore, they are more noisy than the waves which are developed when you go deep into the sea. That is the meaning of energy of the wave, so that we construct the seashore structures. We construct the structures on the ocean shore, so that we have to find out the energy of the waves, power of the waves. Accordingly, we can design the structures for extraction of the energies of the wave, and whatever energy is transmitted from one place, from the deep ocean body to the shore, we can really make use of the wave energy for, say, different uses, okay? And similarly, whatever wave forces are acting, we can find out the wave force from the energy relationship, and for that, wave energy is equal to wave force into displacement. So we know the distance and we know the wave energy, we can find out the wave force, and we can design all the wave structures, especially docks and harbors and all those things for these particular forces. I hope that you understood it, and with the final quote, that we all know the scientist Albert Einstein, a world famous scientist. He was a scientist, and he is a person of uniqueness, such that he thought of the scientific outcomes first by imagination, and then he used to corroborate those imaginations with the help of experimentations and mathematical analysis. So first he used to think, imagine, and then he supports his imagination by analysis. And he was a scientist of such a greatest caliber that he thought of variation of energy, because wave is an energy, variation of energy in space and time. And I would like to dedicate this particular area of scientific inquiry to that great scientist, and with the hope that with the more number of equations, you might have been really bored, but you can get those equations and details of the equations from my study material, from my slides. And to summarize this entire part of today's lecture, I have divided this wave mechanics. Basically, wave mechanics is the study of motion of wave. As we call it as particle mechanics is a study of motion of a particle. Likewise, it is a study of motion of a wave. When a wave is moving, it has two velocity components. In the direction of advancement of the wave, that is x direction. In the direction perpendicular to it, that is z direction. And once we calculate these u and w components, we can calculate the potential, velocity potential associated with the wave. And the velocity potential is the most core part of this particular topic. Once we determine phi, that is velocity potential in meters square per second, then thereafter we can find out various parameters of wave mechanics, that is displacement of the wave, pressure under wave, celerity of the wave, celerity of group of waves, energy and power associated with the wave. And the most important thing before concluding this lecture is that the basic coupled equations, that is continuity equation and energy equation. The coupled continuity and energy equation, that is gradient of velocity vector, that is del dot u equal to 0, and linearized Bernoulli's equation minus dou phi upon dou t plus p by rho plus gz equal to 0. These coupled equations are solved by taking into considerations the boundary conditions. In the boundary conditions means we know the values at the boundaries of the flow domain, that is the sea water surface, sea bed. We are known with the boundary conditions. We substitute the values of boundary conditions into the governing equation and we get the value of velocity potential. And throughout this topic, we have considered a linear wave, a wave whose amplitude is very, very less than the wavelength. A is very, very less than L. So therefore, it is called as linear wave, and we can employ the principle of superposition for deriving various equations in this topic. Thank you very much. So yes, any any questions? I'm sorry. Hello.
If participants have any question, they can ask or they can chat box.
Yeah. You can ask.
Or you can write in chat box.
Yeah. Any questions? Because it is a topic with so many equations.
Okay.
You can Nilavar sir, hello.
Sir, एक क्वेश्चन है वाइकर सर करो.
हाँ बोला.
ED and celerity are same.
Yes.
ED and celerity are same.
I did not. I'm not able to have celerity and
ED
energy.
ED.
Can you elaborate more little? ED I am not getting.
Sir, can you click the chat box? Chat box में click करें ना sir दीदा question.
Yeah. AD viscosity. Yeah, no, AD and celerity are different. AD viscosity or AD is a turbulence. It is a turbulent velocity, and we are not considering in the linear wave the turbulent velocity. It is only celerity is the speed of the wave, and AD, one can AD velocity also we can associate it, but not for linear wave, I think. Yes. So for turbulent flow domain, AD velocity can be associated. Am I, sir? I hope it is clear, Aditya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
AD is different and celerity is different. They are not same. First thing.
Any question?
Good afternoon, sir.
Huh.
I am Patan from Devgiri College.
Yes.
I have one question.
Huh.
What are the best and simple software
Huh.
for ocean wave analysis and to plot the wave diagram with respect to the ocean wave analysis?
Sorry, I am not aware about the software part because I have studied the mechanics part only. There must be softwares available in the wave mechanics also. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I think no question for them. So thank you, sir. The lecture was very informative. We are grateful
you.
for the time and effort you took to share your work. Thanks for accepting our invitation. Thank you, sir.
You can share the slides to the participants.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Good day. Thank you very much for patient listening. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
So participant, we have break of 30 minutes. We will meet at 3:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Kulkarni sir. Thank you so much.